Good morning, everybody. Welcome to May 9th, Friday Eve, 2024. I'm excited to get into what we have happening, what we have going on. If you're new here, this is our Wall Street deep dive before the bell, right? Our pre-market preparatory session. This is where we go over the important data, news, analysis, sentiment, right? Market sentiment, sometimes technical analysis. They'll be key to just understanding markets, being on the same page as them, and really also just keeping up in a world that's constantly evolving each and every day, right? We've got things that are rapidly changing. And it's important, in order to make sure you're making the right decision when, okay, maybe I'm contemplating this career change, or maybe I'm contemplating buying this car, this house, moving my kids to this school. We're all connected, right? And all of what happens is connected in an important way that it's paramount for you to be cognizant of as you make these decisions, right? Because the timing of decisions is very important, and you making the decision to do X, over Y may or may not be the right decision given the circumstances that are happening right now in the world, right? You see it happens to large companies, but we have to be cognizant as well that, just choosing to do something at some point arbitrarily oftentimes is not the right way to do it. You want to take into um, account all the different factors that could weigh into your decision, all the different ramifications, right? And then act. You don't want to get analysis paralysis, but you want to get sufficient information to make a decision and then make that decision, right? And this is part of what we do here. So I feel like on the surface, it's focused on markets, but when you take a step back, it's focused on much more than that, which is really just getting 1% better, right? Like the Kaizen event on June 19th to the 21st. Getting 1% better is what it's about, and just staying ahead of the curve in a lot of different regards, because there's a lot changing. There's a lot of people going through a lot, right? So make sure that you also are, just sending out good vibes and healing vibes to those around you. There are a lot of people going through a lot of things right now. I'm one of a few different people that have communities of their own, and they're tapped in, and there's just a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, whether it's mentally or health wise, a lot manifesting in terms of health. So just send out good vibes and pray for all those around you, even those that you don't directly talk to or those that you don't directly see, because they need it as well, right? There's just a lot that's happening, and it can be tough to take the time to put in to get 1% better per day, but understand that having that information, composing that knowledge base, and that forming a mindset, and that mindset sifting through certain opportunities, that can also help you break through in areas like that mental space, or even when it comes to your health, right? Doing things that are necessary in order to live a good long life. So it's a session where we talk about market stuff, but in my eyes and in my heart, I recognize that it represents a lot more, because each and every bit of what we do has a lot more meaning than what we give it. So that's why I'm here. Most mornings, right? Try to make it every morning, can't always be, but just in an effort to continue to provide an environment where we can seek to close the gap between where we are and where we want to be. So that's what this is about. And just like our top news here, Stronger Together, I believe we are exactly that. So let's get to it. As always, we're here to get 1% better. Drop your ones in the chat, whether you're watching live or via replay, to signify your intention to get 1% better. We don't do that by accident. You do it by showing up, being consistent, executing a system, curating the correct mindset, and just making sure to execute in general, right? So, top news, Stronger Together. Let's dive in. The streaming wars have been going on for years, but things are changing with the foundation of new alliances. Walt Disney, ticker Diz, and Warner Bros. Discovery, ticker WBD, just unveiled a new streaming bundle that includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. The subscription will feature both the Marvel and DC universes, as well as Star Wars and HBO, and will be available in the US starting this summer. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I feel like Disney in the past few days, and this is important to, kind of stay aware of. Disney has been making a lot of moves when it comes to what they're doing with their content and opening it up. I think they are taking, notes from Meta, who is doing more open source stuff. I think that they are, kind of taking notes of what's happening with AI across the board and how all of these different companies are like, hey, open source is the way, right? I feel like some of the biggest technological breakthroughs have come due to open source technology, especially now with AI. I know a lot of people are trying to keep things under wraps and keep it proprietary, but when you open it up, yes, it can be a security concern, but you also just open things up to such a wide variety of people and ideas, and they evolve faster. And I think that Disney is taking a note from that handbook of open source, right? And going about things in an open source way, where they're just like, hey, we have tried to, kind of do what Netflix did and keep our stuff native to our platform. But I think what they are starting to realize is that they might be better off having their content on every platform and licensing it out. Um, and they're trying it. I'm sure they'll see if it works out for them. But I think what they are, looking to understand is kind of even more data, right? Get even more data from other platforms, understand how their content performs based off of where it is positioned, right? They can gather a whole lot of data as well if they license their content out. So number one, people will still be watching Disney content, but they can license it out and then they can see, oh, actually our content performed better on Netflix when it was positioned as the third horizontal row in the fantasy section, right? Like they can essentially try out and troubleshoot and split test a whole lot of different things at once, which can make their platform even better and even more curated. So I think that Disney is taking that open source approach because we talked about yesterday about how they are licensing out, looking to license out their media and stuff to Netflix. And that's huge. And then now they're, kind of joining in this bundle where you get Disney, Hulu, and Max. I feel like, as before, it was kind of every man for themselves. Now there's like a lot more cross collaboration going on in the streaming world. And I think it's necessary because at the end of the day, we don't want to have to go to 30 different apps to watch stuff. Like literally, I was thinking about it last night. Like we got back, we were pickleballing for hours from like 6:30, well into the night. And, I get back and, sitting down, like, oh, maybe I'll watch an episode of Survivor or something. And I'm just trying to remember what platform it's on, right? It ended up being Paramount Plus. It's like there's Paramount Plus, there's Peacock, there's Max, there's Disney Plus, there's, Hulu. There's all this different stuff. And I love that Disney, kind of took that first step of consolidation by adding Hulu to Disney Plus. Now you can access Hulu through Disney Plus, which I think is great. But there has to be some type of consolidation here. I didn't even talk about Apple TV Plus, right? There's got to be some type of consolidation because it's over the top. And I don't think people will continue to do it. But it's just funny because like the wheel just turns and we're just gonna end up with cable again. Like it's just gonna be a different style of cable, but it will be cable. Backdrop, Netflix was once the all dominant force of the streaming world, with studios happy to license their legacy content as they focused on core markets of traditional television and box office. As the barriers to entry of launching an online platform came down and consumer viewing habits changed, many companies decided to go at it alone when their distribution deals came to an end. Original content and original streaming platforms soon became the name of the game, with studios like the ones mentioned above investing in significant resources to gain market share, as well as Prime Video. Let me see here. Make sure I got my charger plugged in. It's all right. I think we'll be able to make it through this. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to take the time to plug in. Might as well, guys. Might as well. Because we know I can be a little mouthy at times. There we go. Oh, hush. There we go. Nice. All good. I'm charging. Beautiful. Um, yes, original content and original streaming platforms soon became the name of the game, with studios like the ones mentioned above investing significant resources to gain market share, as well as Prime Video through Amazon, Apple TV Plus through Apple, Paramount Plus through Paramount, and Peacock. for Comcast. So in recent years, companies have unveiled ad-supported streaming plans and password crackdowns in an effort to attract subscribers, but it is becoming as much of a quality game as it is the numbers. Customers are also looking to downsize their subs, especially as the amount of streaming apps and packages have exploded. Yeah, at this point, it's like you might as well get cable. Many have already ditched their large bundled cable packages, but there are also risks here that move into bundled streaming that could eventually produce the same effects that led to cord cutting. Yeah, we're literally going around the exact same circle that we did before. What's next? This new direction towards choice and value was heard immediately after the latest streaming bundle announcement and suggests more consolidation might be in store for the industry. Smart. This new offering delivers for consumers the greatest collection of entertainment for the best value in streaming, said JB Perrette, CEO of global streaming at Warner Bros. Discovery. Don't forget that Disney and WBD, along with Fox, are scheduled to launch a joint sports streaming service as soon as the fall. I mean, I'm here for it. If you can get me to watch my football and everything all in the same spot, please, please do, because this is getting out of hand. Um, but yeah, I think Disney making moves and they realize they have to make something shake, and I think they're doing exactly that. So good on them for this consolidation. In terms of consumer news, retail theft has become a big problem for retailers in recent years. You're telling me, I mean, I've seen, I try to make sure that my social media is as curated as possible to provide an environment like this one where I'm constantly learning, constantly getting better, constantly growing. Um, but you still see the videos, right? Like people just running out and Target and Walmart and just kind of mass looting events. Many locations in big cities have added plexiglass cases in vulnerable locations while locking up or partitioning off high priced items like health and beauty products. In the latest bust, Manhattan authorities indicted a local cosmetics retailer for allegedly running a retail theft fencing operation which housed $1 million in stolen goods from shoplifters. Wow. So they were going and sourcing products from shoplifters? That is crazy. Of which 212,000 were stolen from Macy's. New York City has proactively taken steps to combat rising retail theft, allocating $40 million for dedicated law enforcement teams. Yeah, I mean, this is literally causing companies to have to restructure the way that they're doing things. Like tons of different Walmarts and Targets and all these different companies are shutting down locations for good because theft has been so bad. So that's where we're at with things, and it's not easing up yet. So they're trying something in New York City. I don't know if we could try something nationwide or maybe the federal government steps in, but it's just crazy. Automotive news off the road. After a 60-year run, General Motors is saying goodbye to the Chevy Malibu to make room for more electric vehicles and hybrids. The company will end production of the vehicle in November and invest $390 million to retool its Kansas City plant to build the next generation of Chevy Bolt EV and resume manufacturing of the Cadillac XT4. Aw, I've never had a Chevy Malibu, but I've always liked the name. Whenever I see them, I'm like, oh, that's like a classic car. Like for me, growing up as a kid, you're riding the car and you see all these different, vehicles. I feel like I saw a lot of those. So it's never meant anything to me. I've never had one, but it just makes you go, oh, with the Malibu and Camaro gone, the Corvette will be the last remaining Chevy ICE left. Despite the Malibu's former glory as a NASCAR darling, really, that car raced NASCAR? In 10 million car sales worldwide since 1964, sales have tapered off in recent years, dropping 12.5% in Q1 2024. What? They used to race NASCAR race a Chevy Malibu? Could you imagine like actively racing a Chevy Malibu? I feel like I would be like, yes, awesome. I get to race a freaking Chevy Malibu. That is easy money. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also don't know anything about racing. Nothing, right? I know nothing about racing. So maybe they did something back in the day. They did something crazy. Shannon, I was just thinking that we're headed back to cable style of entertainment. Yeah, that's where we're at with it at this point. It's pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, RIP. Goodbye to the Chevy Malibu. What's the Hunger Games thing, right? Then they had the little cannons that were going off. Another one has fallen in the vehicular Hunger Games. In terms of crypto news, getting repaid, nearly all customers of the collapsed crypto exchange FTX will get their money back, plus interest, according to a new reorganization plan. FTX owes some 11.2 billion to its creditors, but has 14.5 billion to 16.3 billion to distribute to them, meaning there is more funds than needed to pay back bankruptcy victims. That's good, right? And also good news, I feel like for everybody, they promoted them, right? I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen clips of like the roast of Tom Brady on Netflix. And, there were definitely some FTX jokes that were thrown in there. Customer money has been locked up with the platform since a bankruptcy filing in November 2022. A year after collapsing, disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted of several criminal counts tied to the meltdown and was later sentenced to 25 years in prison. Rest in peace. Still living, but probably a little bit dead inside. Today's markets, and so that's good, for anyone involved with FTX. It sucks, right? It's just bad actors. Some people are pieces of crap, and that's how it was, right, with this. So I hope that I'm glad that everyone will be able to get their money back with interest, and hopefully it's in time and no one needed it and things like that. Today's markets, we got a little mixed slate happening here, but things have also changed a little bit, I believe, because we got some data. Yeah, we're looking open relatively flat to yesterday on SPY as opposed to this, which is talking about we're looking open down. So not really super concerned with what is broadcasted here since it's changed. That pop was likely because of the initial jobless claims, which we got at 8:30 a.m. Looks like SPY got a little pop there off the initial jobless claims. Emphasis on little, and it's kind of like planing off now, but we shall see. We shall see. Um, what else is happening? We'll finish up here with rapid fire stock news rundown. Amazon introduces first fleet of electric trucks for ocean freight. And then needing a ride, guidance for Uber gross bookings disappoints. Google's DeepMind unveils third version of drug discovery AI model. That is like one of the most exciting parts for me that I can't wait to discuss here during this event, the Kaizen event, right? I'm betterdaily.com. If you're not locked in, look, come real close. Come real close. If you're not locked in with us, you don't have your seat for that. Get your seat for that. Because the way that these companies are moving, right? The Google that you knew from a year ago is not the same Google. The Microsoft, the Nvidia, the Apple, none of these companies are the same companies. Now they are completely new companies underneath this new mandate and this new letterhead of AI, right? And they were already sort of functioning like ETFs before, but they're even more so expanding what they do and what they're involved in. And it's very important for us to know and to be aware of that, as well as the companies that they are acquiring to do so, right? Because those are the ones where, I don't want to have to go buy Nvidia for, $5,000 per share, but there are companies that Nvidia is acquiring that don't even have a whole lot of hype, right? There are companies that are in talks to be acquired that don't even have a whole lot of hype. There are companies that are already in the AI space, right? Where there's those knock-on effects are finally starting to manifest for them. And that's what you want to know about well before it happens, right? Just like I came to you with App Lovin' well before that stock doubled. That's what we're talking about on day one. Now that's just day one. We're going to get deeper into more AI related stuff on day two, day three. Just talking about things that can decrease friction when it comes to the work that you have to do, whether it's making a website from scratch using text to prompt like I did for the landing page website, or creating videos from text to video with your own narrator and captions and all that stuff, literally straight from text to video, like whatever it is, there's a tool to get whatever you need done. And it's despite whatever job you have, right? What's tough is that a lot of people struggle in certain areas because they don't know what's possible, right? They're like, man, I have all this work to do. Well, it's because you didn't know that you had this tool over here that can help you get that work done a lot faster, right? My uncle that works for Microsoft, he has had bots literally answering and conversing with people for almost 2 years now, where it's just probably longer. That was just where we had talked about it, but He literally has bots that are just trained on all of the information that he would need to talk to certain parties, and the bots talk to them for him. He's like, dude, I barely talk to anybody. He's like upper management. He's like, I barely talk to anybody. Like, you need to reach me. You got to jump through these hoops, right? You got to get through my bot army. And people might say, oh, that's messed up. But if the bot is solving the problem and they can reach the bot at 24 hours a day, why not? It's an extension of you, right? So I say all that to say that there's a lot of fun stuff that's happening now where if you learn how to do this early, you not only make your life easier, but your company looks at you like you're doing some type of crazy magic. They're like, how did you do this? Well, it was actually really simple, right? It was super simple. I spent 3 days. I learned a lot of stuff, and now I can do stuff that people just sit around and watch other people do because they assume they can't do it, but you can. I have no coding knowledge. And at this point now, I'm getting regularly contracted out for AI execution, implementation, and development for a number of different companies, right? Just now, lockdown, I think it's an 8 month retainer, right? 5-figure retainer where it's boom, 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 boom every month. Okay, we're developing this, develop the plan. Hey, we can create this. This is what I made, right? You like this? All right, we can put this on the front end facing customers, on the back end to help people that are training, right? All of this stuff, custom AI bots. I don't even do that. Didn't go to school for that, but it's just something that has interested me. And now it's a whole new area of revenue, right? So open yourself up to what's possible because you don't know what it could lead to, right? Um, Chip designer ARM Holdings fails to live up to lofty expectations. That makes sense, right? With ARM, like it's just you can't be overvalued as much as you were and still live up to expectations. That's like being expected to score 40 points a night, right? We talk about Ant Edwards in the playoffs. My man is literally busting out 40 burgers left and right. You can't be expected to do that, and then one night you score 25. Still great, but the expectations were up here. AstraZeneca, ticker AZN, withdraws COVID vaccine worldwide due to glut. I guess they just have too much of it out there. Robinhood, ticker Hood, blows past consensus on crypto trading rally. Wow, that's crazy. It's almost like exactly like what we expected out of Robinhood happened. Yeah, so Robinhood beat expectations. That was something that we thought would end up being the case here for Robinhood. So yeah, I mean, just with the whole halving hype and everything running up and Bitcoin to new all-time highs, tons of people were reactivating that Coinbase, like re-downloading that Coinbase app, reactivating their account and trying to put some money in there to catch the wave. Belong Anywhere, Airbnb's near-term guidance underwhelms. Mountain Valley pipeline segment ruptures during tests, sparking criticism. Cyber firm Zscaler confirms investigation into possible data breach. In the report, Sony, Apollo plan to break up Paramount. Yeah, that's been the talk of the town, so we'll see what ends up happening. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap us up here. What is it, May 9th, 2024? Kaizen, right? A philosophy of constant improvement. The key is to not be invulnerable. It's to be unstoppable. We want to make sure that no matter what happens, what development goes on, we can continue to learn, grow, and provide value within whatever context we serve, right? Whether that's within a company or just as the head of a family or the member of a family, all of that. Make sure that you're constantly improving so that you can be the best you need to be for you, but also for your loved ones and those around you, right? And you took a big step doing that, being here for this session. Make sure you continue to do that for the rest of the day and earn this day, right? We'll only have it once. We'll never get it back. Let's make it one worth living. And I'll see all you guys, right? I love it, Shannon. I've got my VIP ticket for Kaizen. Can't wait. I can't wait either. Shannon, I know specifically there's going to be a lot of tools you can sink your teeth into and utilize immediately. You're a big technologically inclined person. So I'm excited. I'm excited to just spark a fire and then see what people go do with it, right? Because you don't even know what is possible until you're aware of what's there. It's like when, someone first made the combustion engine and they're like, oh, we can put this into a car. Oh, we can put it into a boat. Oh, we can put it into a plane, right? That's what's amazing about having a community and exposing people to certain things because you never know what they'll take it and do with it, right? You never know what they'll take and do with it. Just like me learning about these custom bots, and then now I'm going in, for hair salons. Got one that literally goes and it can scan your face and then tell you, oh, based off of your face shape, here are some different hairstyles that you should be looking at if you wanted to switch it up. Like nobody's doing that, right? But you have to know, okay, what is possible? All right, cool. Now let me take that and do something crazy with it. And then even if I have no experience, like, hey, you see I made this, you see that it works, right? Okay, cool. You want it? And people were like, yeah, I can't get it anywhere else, right? You don't know what's been made yet. And a lot of times we sell ourselves super, super short. Don't sell yourself short. I'm betterdaily.com. You can come up with some crazy stuff, and now you've got a whole other side hustle that you just had never anticipated. So yeah, let's have a great day, y'all. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Last pre-market prep session of the week. And I'll see you tonight for Q&A. Have a good one.